Hi, welcome. Today we are going to discussing about Environment Protection Act and Rules 1986. So the period of 1917 experienced an ascent globally in industrialization leading to degradation of the environment at a very high pace. The need was felt for a campaign effort towards environment conservation from all over the world. The result of this campaign effort was the United Nations Conference on the Human Environment, that is the Stockholm Conference 1972 from 5 to 16 June 1972. In India, the Bhopal gas tragedy of 1984 called for urgent legislation in the field of environment. In this background, the Parliament passed the Environment Protection Act 1986 and the Environment Protection Rules 1986. The Stockholm Conference 1972 was held from 5th to 16th June 1972 by the United Nations Conference on the Human Environment. The focus of this conference was the state of the global environment and the relationship between economic, science, and the environment in a political context. The emphasis was on solving environmental problems but without ignoring social, economic, and development policy factors. India played a very significant contributory role in this conference. This conference led the function of environmental legislation in India, Environment Protection Act 1986. The Act came into force on November 19, 1986 and extended to the whole of India. The Act was passed to provide for the protection and importance of environment and for matters connected therewith. The Act gives certain powers to the central government to take measures for the purpose of protecting and improving the quality of the environment and to prevent environment pollution. The Act is an umbrella legislation designed to provide a framework for central government coordination of the activities of various central and state authorities established under previous law such as the Water Act and the Air Act. Here they demarcated for the environment. So includes water, air and land and the interrelationship which exists among and between water, air and land and human beings, other living creatures, plant, microorganisms and properties. So what do you mean environment pollutant? It means any solid, liquid or gaseous substance present in such concentration as may be or tend to be injurious to environment. So now what is meaning of environmental pollution? The presence in the environment of any environmental pollutant. So power of the central government. So what the class S3 is saying, take all necessary measures for environment protection, coordinate the action of state governments, law down standard of environment quality and pollutant, execute nationwide programs, restriction of areas for industries, etc., inspecting industrial premises, preparation of manual, codes or guides. The central government may appoint officers and entrust them with such powers and function as it may deem fit. So this is class S4 is saying. So what S5? The central government is empowered to issue directions to any person, officer or any authority. So the central government is empowered to make rules to regulate environmental pollution on the following matters: the standard of quality of air, water or soil, the maximum allowable limits of pollutant, procedures for the handling of hazardous substance, prevention, control and abatement of environmental pollution under Environment Protection Act 1986. So what here S7, no person, industry is allowed to pollute the environment. So procedures and process are lead down to control pollution. Monitoring authority can carry out inspections. So S11 is saying power to take samples as per prescribed procedures. So S12 is saying sample are tested in environmental laboratories. So whoever contravenes the provisions of the Act, maximum punishment up to 7 years and penalty up to rupees 1 lakh to 5,000 per day per continued offence. Affected companies or body corporate directors or partners are prosecuted. So S17, this act is also applicable to government departments and HODs is prosecuted. This rule laid down further details for implementation of the act. It provides standard for emission or discharge, etc. Procedure laid down for giving direction under S5 by central government. Prohibition and restrictions and locations based on proximity to human settlement, ancient monument, biodiversity, etc. Procedure to take samples. When any person is filling complaint format of notice and details about whom to serve the notice, etc. Format of environmental RAB reports. Format of environmental audit. So here the preparer provided schedule under EP rules 1986. So schedule lays down the procedure and standard for 87 different industries. Example: rubber, copper, iron, etc. Schedule 2 noise standard. Schedule 3 standard for motor vehicle. Schedule 4 general standard for effluent, inland surface, public sewer, land of irrigation, marine coastal areas, etc. So we are understanding about that basic Environmental Act 1986 what is saying. So thanks for watching.